Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Bay City Chronicles presents NextGen. I am your host and GM for this evening, TG, and with me is our normal cast of characters. We've got Shrouded in Darkness, Dark Falls. Shrouded in Beige, Crimson Avex.
I'm here against my will.
Shrouded in Cathead, or as OPT Lawyer.
You're not wrong.
And Shrouded in Notes is Chameleon Ice.
Yay!
And the reason I mentioned he's shrouded in notes is because he said he had them, which means he's getting the recap today. Go for it!
I thought you were joking. Oh, crud.
I was partially joking. If you were ready, I was going to have you do it. So
this is Gianna's voice.
Anytime you give TGE the ability to be lazy, he will take it.
I will. So last time, our heroes woke up in different rooms that all seemed to be made out of their nightmares. After finding their way out of their rooms, they realized they were in some really freaky haunted house where they met up with, the disembodied voice of what they thought was Stage Fright, but turns out it's his evil alter ego horror show. After getting through some of the manifestations he had them fight, they made their way to the top of the stairway in the haunted mansion and came face to face with with Gianna's mom, for lack of a better description. And that's kind of where we faded to black last time.
Right. Oh, crap. Okay.
You haven't even rolled yet. Why are we crapping?
Oh, OBS is giving me some issues, but it's...
Okay, go. So, we're going to pick back up, basically, in the room with everybody, pretty much right after Gianna found out that this woman, Dreamweaver, is actually her mother. So, on the cover, we see the picture that we ended last issue on, with Dreamweaver sitting in this chair, rather opulent looking, with our four heroes, Gianna, Vincent, Flo, and Charlie, all sort of standing around, all with kind of three of them with shocked looks on their face, and Flo with a clearly exasperated fake look of shock on his face because it's Flo, and he's overdoing it. So, welcome everybody to Bay City Chronicles presents Next Gen issue 21, Dreamless Thoughts.
Vincent wouldn't really be shocked. He'd be more confused since he doesn't really know who's who at the moment still.
Right. This is weird.
Yes, this is very weird. So we start again. You turn the page, and the same picture we ended on, the same picture that's on the front page, the cover is the same picture that's on the front page, and that's where we begin with everyone sort of getting the realization of, wait, that's Gigi's mom.
That's my mom?
Yes.
Oops.
And I find it interesting company you choose to have here.
These are just my friends.
As I said, I find it interesting company you choose to keep.
Who are you exactly?
She sees that, looks back over to Gianna and goes, see what I mean? That one can't even listen properly.
No, I meant name, sorry. I get that you're her mother. Or you say so anyway.
As you've probably been told, my name is Minerva.
Minerva?
Yes.
Okay, so I haven't been told, but okay.
You weren't told as part of the story that Gigi's dad told you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Actually, on second thought, I do remember that.
Hey.
Yeah, the players might not have remembered, but
Right.
the characters do.
It's been a bit. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a hot minute.
Right. Okay. So. He says, "All right. That's the name I was given. So you know that much." Why are you here? What? Okay. Jen, is this a dream still?
I don't know.
You.
With that, Vincent looks over at Gianna and starts reaching for her cheek again.
Stop it.
Turn that spark.
Do you pinch her?
No, because I was told not to.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. Minerva speaks up. She goes, "At least one of you has some cover.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can feel the pinch, and you know you're not sleeping."
I don't know.
Mom, I think, why are you here? And why are we here?
Both very good questions.
I'm here because this is where I am. This is where I choose to remain. A plane where I can maintain vigil while staying out of everybody's way, not getting myself in trouble. It's so much easier to contain the urges to hurt people when you're not physically near them.
Yes, that would be true.
I can attest to that, actually. It's extremely true.
As for why you're here, that's simple. I brought you.
Like, all of us?
Yes.
Why?
Why do you think, Charlie?
Well, seems so far every time anybody's taken us anywhere, it's to either have us join some insanely satanic cult or to kill us. So which one are you in?
Why would I kill my daughter?
Well, okay. So,
Probably not in the cult, probably the creator of the cult.
oh boy.
Funny you bring up satanic cult, because that's actually part of the reason that you.
For the reason a Jew? What?
I brought you here.
Oh, okay. It would help if a DM could speak better.
I don't disagree.
Anyway, moving on. I don't know what you speak of when you say this DM. I
The voice
don't
of
think
the devil.
I have the technology to slide into anyone's DMs in this world.
But you still didn't really answer, like, why you exactly want us here, though. What's all this for and about?
What does any parent want more than anything else?
To shower love and affection upon their child?
To kick their children out when they're 18 so they're massive pain in the rear end.
To live through their children, to do everything that they wanted to do when they were children.
Have a good childhood.
How about a simple answer of to keep them safe? Is that so hard to fathom?
When you stick them in nightmares, yes.
Yeah.
Nightmares with guns.
I didn't
First
really.
of all, Gianna, nothing was going to physically happen to you. However, the reason the rest of them were sent along with you was because I needed to see if they were capable of keeping you safe. I've already removed one of them who couldn't keep you. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that again.
You mean
Would I?
Alex? Was that your fault?
He let you get attacked by almost get blown up, and then almost get turned into some horrible, nightmarish creature. He was not suitable to be keeping my daughter safe, so I took care of the problem.
Fault. Alex tried really hard, and he's helped me lots of times.
Name one.
When we first were fighting together, and we encountered that child star. The first time we came together, Alex protected me from getting hurt by him.
Only because you were afraid to use your powers, dear.
Okay, that's like splitting hairs, though. You just said that he wouldn't help, and then he does help, and you're like, well, that doesn't count.
What I said was he was not capable of keeping my daughter safe. He let her nearly get blown up, and let her nearly get turned into a nightmarish zombie vampire creature.
That wasn't even Alex's fault. He wasn't even there.
Exactly my point. He wasn't there to keep you safe.
Neither were you.
There are bindings in place that allow me to keep an eye on the world, but not fully interact with it.
Is that why you're working with some moron like this stage fright alter ego dude?
I wonder if she's as punchable as horror show is.
Well, no one's as punchable.
No one's as punchable as that. She says it in unison with you. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of that mask is I don't get to choose where it goes. It chooses a suitable host. And unfortunately, it decided this time to choose someone who was extremely obnoxious and punchable.
I can't believe this, but I'm actually agreeing with the villainous here.
Villain?
I mean, you did kidnap us and bring us all here, so yes, at the moment.
Marco isn't a good guy.
I didn't kidnap anyone. Would you like to go back to where you came from? Because I can certainly send you.
I mean...
You erased somebody from existence.
I did no such thing.
But the person that works for you did. Horror Show said that oubliette person works with him.
Yes.
So, if that works with him, and he works for you, then that means that she works for you too, and that means it's your fault.
I am not the one who is physically responsible for anyone going missing.
That's how you want to justify it. Congratulations. That's the major twist of anything, but okay.
I mean, at least I'm not lying about smashing my future self's head in, am I?
You said I was lying about that.
Well, you haven't mentioned it. You haven't brought it up.
Why would I if they saw me do it? They were there when it happened.
At that, Patrick kind of looks over at Charlie and just kind of raises his eyebrow and goes, care to fill me in on that?
Oh, right. You weren't there.
Vincent wasn't there yet.
Well, so, hi, I'm from the... Did I really mention I'm from the past? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you kind of told me that.
Okay, good. So, I ran into my future self. He's a jackass. and I decided that didn't want to be him, and then he turned into a monster and I stomped his head in. It was kind of a thing.
Sounds plausible. That's fine. Okay.
Yes, sounds plausible. Did you ever stop to ask yourself how eerily and easily convenient that was?
Oh, trust me. Yes, I've thought about that a lot, actually. Considering where we were, I don't even know what that was, but as far as I know, it was Chase Cassidy.
Trust me, I knew you when you were slightly older. That thing that you stomped, I can assure you, wasn't you.
Oh. I'm actually somewhat both happy and disappointed at the same time.
I saw him transform.
Must not have been him in the first place. Remember, they had those clones there of all of us.
That might explain. Maybe it's a shapeshifter, and that would explain why I existed back here.
Possible. But why in the world? So where is Chase, then? I have words that I have to give him now.
If I knew that, I would have just given you that information in a much different manner. No need to call you here.
Okay.
I do have ways of communicating with you in the outside world.
Why would you have done that?
So I can keep an eye on my daughter, of course.
So
Dad, no?
I have a question. If you're apparently benevolent in what you're saying, which none of us kind of believe, why exactly did you bring us to a place of nightmare?
First of all, I'm not benevolent. I can just discuss what I've seen. And to answer the question, does your father know? He probably suspects something, considering. Did you let him know you have a new pet?
He doesn't need to know about that.
Not you.
You mean Chibi?
Where did you get him?
I guess I kind of got him from the dreaming.
Which is where you are right now. It's my realm.
So you're trying to drive something in between her and her father by giving her a pet that he wouldn't approve of?
No, not at all. I'm simply using the Chibi Cabra so I can keep an eye on my daughter.
Chibi's been spying?
Use.
Chibi has not been spying. I've been spying through his eyes. There's a difference.
That actually makes it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not really gaining a lot of those, parental trust points here.
I'm not here to gain parental trust points. I'm here because of the storm that's about to come over Bay City, and this is the only way I can effectively communicate to the four of you without directly involving or getting the attention of people who I probably shouldn't. Specifically, the satanic cult you refer to, the Brimstone House.
I thought we were done with the Brimstone
Of
House.
course we weren't done with the Brimstone. We wrecked the Brimstone House. Of course we weren't
Exactly.
done with them.
Is the Brimstone House where I joined?
Yes.
Patrick is just kind of scratching his head, and Vince is just kind of like scratching his head and looking at him, just kind of confused.
Vincent will tell you that story later.
Don't bother listening to it because I was there and I still don't understand it all.
He just shrugs and goes back to looking through his mirror.
There was a big dinosaur T-Rex thing that we had to fight. Things going through walls, and then a monster that I thought was me, and then it isn't, and stomped its head in, and side of a large room with table or something that seemed important, which we blew a hole in the wall, and then we left.
See, clear as mud in a blackout.
Yeah, that was about right.
Yes.
So you're not working with them?
Absolutely not. But don't you think it was kind of odd that as soon as you kill this Chase Cassidy replica, that is the convenient spot when the media, specifically, the head of the channel, decides that's the time to do an interview about all of this? Doesn't everything seem a bit too convenient?
I mean, to be fair, I thought that was because Chase was missing, but...
Yes, but why wait 2 weeks?
That is a fair point, actually.
I mean, we can't chalk it up to the media actually being responsible.
I mean, that's also true.
So, the reason I brought you here is because this is the only place where I can effectively communicate without invoking the wrath of somebody or something listening from someplace they shouldn't be.
Oh, so you're not worried about their wrath, but not the wrath of any of us.
You're 4 teenagers. I'm not that worried about what you're going to do.
I thought you said you've been
I'm
watching.
not even born yet.
I have been watching, which is why I'm not worried.
I mean...
I feel kind of smaller now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched what all of you do. I mean, half the time it feels like the only reason you're getting anything accomplished is because the thing you're fighting trips over a root. And she's trying to shift all of your labels at this point. She is shifting every one single one of you, all of your mundanes up and your dangers down.
Weird.
Saying that you're just getting by sheer dumb luck.
We are, but still.
He's not going to reject that. I hesitate to say he's accepting it, but...
She's not wrong, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah.
So
Now, would that
Charlie's...
still affect Vincent since he hasn't really partaken in much?
It still would affect everyone, because basically the way influence works is, by default, all adults have influence over all the PCs. So, by default, even if you don't want to admit you care about what they say, you care. So, if you want to basically tell her she's wrong, you can attempt to reject her influence.
I think I'm going to reject.
Okay?
Like, Gianna barely knows her mom, and she feels like they've been really working hard. So she's going to reject that. Do I get a bonus because I'm her daughter?
Nope.
You don't have influence over your mother.
Aww. Says who?
Hey.
Hey!
Alright, so we got that. Flo?
I need to look at my moves.
Flo's totally going to reject it because he's purposely come back in time to try to correct things, so he really doesn't feel like anything is going to be dumb luck.
Perfectly logical.
Meanwhile, Charlie's like, no, most of it's been dumb luck.
Okay, and Vincent.
Vincent's also going to reject it just because he doesn't think that he's ever done anything wrong. And he
That
doesn't
makes total sense, honestly.
Not to mention,
So-
Charlie's actually feeling insecure at the moment, too, so
Yeah.
that helps.
So yeah, on the... Oh, good, excellent.
See?
Wow, Vincent just box card that.
Yeah.
So there is one team, if somebody would like to help our buddy Flo.
That we've been working really hard.
I was gonna say that's gonna have to be Gianna because as Eddie, not me.
Okay, so we'll go after these in order. So Gianna, when you reflect somebody's influence, you roll flat. On a hit, it would help if I had the right button up. Okay, there we go. On a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. On a 7 to 9, choose one. Clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up, one label down, your choice, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
He's my mom. I gotta cancel that influence.
I know you do.
She'll use that against me every day.
Yep, she will.
So do I get anything for hitting the full 12?
Yep, you'll get to choose 2 of those. But next is going to be Flo. So if Gianna or Vincent, because it doesn't make sense for Charlie to do so, would like to spend that one team to help him out, so he doesn't have to...
Absolutely.
All right, so how are you making that a 7? How are you helping him out?
Well, she's been saying out loud, like, no, we've been working very hard, and it wasn't just chance, or else the flow came from the future, and he knows how things are working out, so he wouldn't just luck into doing things he already knows is going to happen.
All right, that brings your total up to a 7, Flo. What are you choosing from those options?
Hold on, I actually have to find where the options are in the book.
I should make handouts for those.
Is reject influence not in the book?
It's in the it's peripheral moves.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yep. Page 2 of the document I just sent.
No, I had the document up. I just couldn't find it.
Yeah, I'm so happy I printed this out.
I'm going to cancel the influence as well, based off the fact that I sort of have an idea of what's going on in the future, so I'm not going to let someone in the past influence what I think about the past.
Makes total sense. Okay, so Vincent, because you got a 10 plus, you get to choose 2 of those 3 that I just rattled off there.
Can you repeat just one time for me?
Absolutely. Clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Okay, I will, for my first one, I'll do the cancel the influence and take the +1. And then I will shift my... I like my labels kind of like they are. I'm going to shift the label up and down.
Yep, the only thing you cannot shift up is superior because it's already at 3. And that's as high as it can go.
Okay, so then the other one I'll do is I'll cancel the influence.
Yep, you cancel the influence and go ahead and make your label shift accordingly on your sheet, and we're good there.
I'll DM you on Discord. I have a question for you too from last session.
Yep, not a problem. So she can clearly see that she's affected one of you with her words.
Yeah. More along the lines of he's just like, yeah.
Look, if you want to stumble through the dark and figure it out on your own, I won't stop you. But if you stumble through the dark and you mess it up, I will be sure to at least ensure the safety of my daughter and nobody else.
But what if I don't want you to do that?
She's probably going to say something along the lines of, oh, you don't have a choice, dear.
What if the safest thing for Gianna is for you to stay away from her?
I doubt she'd recognize that, even though it's probably true.
You do realize I can hear you, right, children?
That's why I was saying things out loud, yes.
Okay.
Obviously, you haven't been watching us that much. If you don't know, I wouldn't purposely say that out loud around you.
Fair.
Oh, I've been watching. You've been quite entertaining, actually. But anyway.
I guess I'm just a little bit confused. If you want to keep me safe from the things that are going to be happening, why not just help us to fight and stop the satanic cult?
I'm kind of stuck here.
Why is
Like-
that?
In the dreaming?
Yes.
What's keeping you here?
Deals and other things that were made. I cannot directly myself influence things in the physical world. Part of the deal I've made.
With who?
That is none of your concern.
You make a deal with Castor?
No, Castor works for me.
What?
Yeah?
Is that the crow you told me about earlier?
Yeah,
Okay.
the one that Alex was almost making a deal with.
Had he made a deal with the crow, he wouldn't have been, gobbled up by Oubliette.
Mom, can you get Alex back?
Can I? Yes. Will I? No.
Can I pierce the mask on her?
You certainly can.
Since she decided to put my mundane at +3. Granted, I'm also angry, but hey, there you go.
Oh, just barely.
Okay. Ask one.
And she's already told us what she's planning. She hasn't really mentioned what she wants us to do right now, but I think we're getting there. I had a plan, and now I'm realizing it was kind of silly. How can I gain influence over you?
Help her out with the plan she's getting ready to outline to you and keep her little girl safe.
Fair enough.
Basically, you take a minute, you study her, you look, and based off of the interactions you're having with her now and the story that Mr. Robinson told you about her when she was younger, that's kind of what you piece together based on body language.
So I'm getting that she's actually somewhat genuine then.
When it comes to keeping her daughter safe, yes.
Right. Alright, Miss... Is it proper to still call you Miss Robinson? Mrs. Robinson?
Here's to me.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, right.
She smiles because you're probably the only one here who didn't get that reference.
Yeah. But as he kind of smirks at her as she does that, like, yes, I was making that reference, but I was also asking the question for real.
And I gave you the answer for real.
Okay, good. How? Okay. So, let's say we go. Whatever you want us to do, we go ahead and attempt and do it. Whatever. What guarantees do we have that you're not just going to get rid of us anyway after your daughter is safe?
It's quite simple. This world is mine that we're in currently. If I wanted you gone, you'd be gone. I'm keeping you around because, for some unknown reason, my daughter seems to think that you three are capable. While you're not entirely incapable, because you made it this far, capable is pushing it.
That doesn't exactly answer the question. He was asking what happens after she's verified safe. What happens to us? How do we know you're not going to just dispose of us? Like you just said you could.
Yes.
Because if you've managed to keep my daughter safe and sound, getting rid of you in that manner would be a horrible emotional blow to her.
Like getting rid of her other friend?
It was one, not all of them.
But it was still a friend. And he was like my first friend in so long. That wasn't, big and teethy.
And fluffy.
Fluffy, too.
I mean, I could be fluffy.
Do you want to be fluffy?
Not entirely, no.
Only partially fluffy?
Not at all fluffy.
Oh. Because I can make you fluffy.
You could also make me irritated.
I'm pretty
that
sure.
one will happen a lot quicker.
I'm pretty sure I already made you irritated, sweetheart. Out of character, if she made you fluffy, she was just going to give you a giant afro. And part of me really wants Flo with an afro.
Afflo?
Afflo?
Wow.
I didn't even make the pun.
Yeah.
I mean, the pun kind of made it itself and just sat there.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
It really did.
It was just kind of there.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. We'll cut to the chase, because apparently at least some of you are being a little snippy. As much as they refuse to admit it, the Brimstone House has gotten themselves, or let me rephrase that, your news anchor friend, Mr. Powell, has gotten himself in bed with the Brimstone House.
Oh, of course he has.
He's working with
They-
them.
Oh, absolutely. I know part of their plan. I don't know all of it because there's something else manipulating things. Something that I can't see about. Because whatever it is, whatever's helping him, it's capable of high-functioning thought.
Is there something to do with that?
But it
cult-
doesn't dream. But it doesn't dream.
Is there anything to do with that big cauldron thing that they took me to see?
Oh, her viewing window?
Okay,
No, probably not.
All right.
Dark, or Vincent, at the mention of something doing high-level thinking that doesn't dream, that sounds awfully familiar to you.
By the way, somewhere mixed in all of that, you get a comic panel of Flo sitting there thinking, did she really just make a reference to a bunch of teenagers of someone being in bed with something else?
I almost did it, but I thought she was too innocent.
The world may never know if it was intentional or not.
So Vincent kind of perks up, and he was asking if there's technology around here somewhere that he could look at.
Does it look like there's technology in this world, sweetheart?
Well, high-level thinking about sleep is clearly something computer-related.
Oh.
Yes. Which is part of the reason why you're here. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't one of yours escape?
A lot of mine have escaped at one point, but they usually explode afterwards, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. But specifically here, I have a move here. Whenever you are confronted with your shame,
Oh, jeez.
either mark a condition or shift superior down and danger up. Because it's a prototype AI, and that's exactly what she's calling you out for.
Alright, I will shift my skills, I guess.
Yep. Superior down, danger up.
Vincent, is she talking about your cat that escaped?
Yes, let's go with that.
Did it escape? Or was
If
it-
anyone's paying attention to Dreamweaver,
Oh, yeah.
she's got this sort of sinister, like I'm the bad guy, I'm planning something look on her face.
Ugh.
Ixnay on the robot A.
Are we actually saying that there is some kind of artificial intelligence that's helping them?
I'm not saying there is, I'm not saying there isn't, but something capable of that high level of thinking that doesn't dream, which means I can't get into its dreams to figure out what's going on, certainly would lead one to believe that, wouldn't you?
Oh, God.
If this is true, you must know of a link to it. Is it web-based?
I know what I've told you about that. What I can tell you, what I've been able to surmise, is that whatever the group of them is planning involves making it so that the public distrusts all heroes. So, the best I can offer at this point is to say, you need to find Chase.
I need to slug Chase in the face.
And you think he might be at the Brimstone House?
I don't know. He might be. He might be in the basement of the news building. He might be in a pocket dimension. I don't know.
They might be monsters. Giant.
And they might be giants as well. But that is what needs to happen, children. And then she looks specifically at Gianna here, but addressing the whole crew in general. If you can stop them, I cannot promise that you will be able to get your friend back, but if you stop them, I can at least give you a chance to get him.
Are you? Do you mean that?
In this realm, yes, I do.
What does that mean?
I take it to mean that you'll only see him in your dreams.
No, not at all. It means that I'm not going to tell a lie when it comes to making a promise. I can't.
I see. But there is a chance.
As I said, you figure out what they're doing and stop them. Get them away. Ensure the safety of my little girl. And I can give you a chance to get your friend back.
We'll do it. Jack just kind of steps forward.
A chance?
Once Oubliette has gotten herself some dinner, she does enjoy playing with her food, but it's all a matter of how long she wants to.
Sounds horrible.
Wait, so if we get this Alex back, what's the chances that he's just going to be a brain-dead nothing?
Oh, Oubliette doesn't feed on brains. He'll be fine. He might be emotionally scarred, but he'll be fine.
From what Gianna was telling me about him, he was probably emotionally scarred before he went into that. Whatever.
So all we need to do is investigate the Brimstone House, right?
Oh,
All
yeah.
you need to do is find Chase.
Find Chase Cassidy, right. And why can't you see him? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, it's oddly what I came here to do in the first place. I'm kind of back to square one.
And with that, you just hear this odd, slowly in the back of your back of your ears, you hear this, meh, 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 and it's progressively getting louder and louder and louder. And we get the comic panel, the onomatopoeia of that, just ring, ring, ring noise, and we turn the page, and we get the split 4 panel of alarm clocks going off, and the 4 of you simultaneously waking up.
Actually, for Charlie, it would be the desk call, the wake up.
Yeah, wake up call.
Because he doesn't know how to set the alarm on his phone.
Just kind of lays in bed for a bit, like looks at the ceiling.
So
Darn it.
So, within a minute, Gianna's phone starts ringing.
She reaches over and picks it up.
Gianna? It's Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Can I ask you a question?
It wasn't a dream.
Thank you.
But go ahead.
That
Okay.
was it.
You're welcome.
I'll talk to you in a moment. Later. I gotta go take a shower or something, and I don't know. Maybe go find some heroin or something. I don't know. I'll be back later.
They know the drugs, Charlie!
He clicks.
So, we're going to comic panel over to Vincent. Being the technology fiend that you are, there is bits and pieces of tech pretty much everywhere around your house, right?
Yes, especially like my man cave, little battle station.
So, what you end up having is, you've got all your stuff going on, and you have alerts and stuff set up for pretty much, things to alert you certain things, and you get an alert about a news report. And it's a breaking news report talking about Gianna. It basically says, because Gianna's name was in the interview, it says, "The truth about our young hero revealed. Breaking news. Official story, 9 a.m. on Good Morning Bay City. The current clock is 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. What do you do?"
So at that, Vince's going to walk over to where he keeps his mechanisms. He's going to select 3 of his machines to, since he doesn't know the other group's phone numbers, he never really exchanged them. He's going to send out his robotic birds to try to track them down to let them know to come to his house.
Okay, so mechanical burbs. So we will start with the burb coming to the hotel window where Chase is staying. So Chase, you get out of the shower, you get yourself all, and you see this pecking on a window. What do you do? Chase.
You mean Vincent, right?
No. He sent the birds out. The first one's going to your hotel room door. Or hotel room window. You hear this.
Oh. You
On
kept
the
saying
window.
you
What
kept
do you
saying
do?
Chase, I'm sorry.
Charlie.
Right.
My bad.
Sorry. Okay. So he goes over and open. You just said window, right?
Yeah, the hotel room window.
Goes over, looks at it. Is it obviously like a machine, like a thing, or is it like those?
Well, you're opening the curtains first?
Oh yeah, obviously.
So when you open the curtains,
Mm-hmm.
the bird's beak just opens up and it shoots out like a hologram of Vincent's face.
Oh, God! Oh.
Charlie, hey buddy, how's it going?
What
yeah.
in the world is that?
I need you to come to my house. You have to see this. And if you could call the others and get them to come with you, I'm not sure if the birds can find them also, but all three of you need to come over here.
Why?
It's better you see this in person.
Okay, where are you?
So that Charlie just rattles off his mansion address.
Okay, hold on. I need a pen and hold on. So he grabs like one of those
Just follow the bird. The bird will lead you.
Hey, you act like I have any idea how to use technology. I don't even know how to text on this phone. Hold on. So he grabs paper, writes down the address. Like, all right, I'll call people. Just how did your face get here?
It's a hologram.
A hollow what?
I'll explain when I see you again.
Okay.
So the bird's beak just closes and it just flaps back to my house.
Okay. Slow. Okay.
As I say, similar events would happen to anyone who acknowledges the bird. Or the beak just opening up a giant Vincent face popping out.
We're going to give all of these birds a chance to find things. Flow. Are you still staying at the nondescript house in the nondescript neighborhood with the obnoxious goose?
Unfortunately.
Okay. So, it's going to take this poor bird a little while, because all the houses look the same. But you're going to find the bird, like, when you eventually get up, you're going to find the bird, and you go downstairs, and there is just this tense anime stare down as the robotic bird and the goose are just beak to beak staring at each other. Neither one moving a feather.
Can I make an assumption that that's Vincent's?
Probably.
Go ahead and destroy it. It's probably useless anyway.
Huh?
You may not want to damage the bird. They usually don't like that.
Yeah. So you speak, both the goose and the mechanical bird both turn to face you. The goose gives the huh, like the Aflac duck in the Yogi Berra commercial. And then the mechanical bird's mouth pops open. And there's Vincent's face smiling at you.
God, the bird made you uglier.
Hello, Flo. Charlie's probably going to call you, but I need the four of you to come to my house ASAP. Before 9 o'clock if you can get here.
Why would I want to do that?
Why would you want to do that? Because one of your friends' well-beings may be at stake?
You're talking more cryptic than Gigi's mom!
I have a newscast I want to show you. Just get them over to my place, please.
Why couldn't you just leave with that? I'll just go punch the guy.
It's not a horror show.
Oh no, I didn't just punch Horror Show.
Well, we have to know who you have to punch, so you may want to just come see this.
Okay, I'll see you in a few pages.
Very well. So that the bird just kind of like spits out like a map of where to go.
So with that, we turn over to Gianna's house. Gianna.
Alrighty.
Are you and your dad eating breakfast, or are you just eating breakfast with all your construct aminals?
They're called friends.
As I said, construct aminals.
Considering everything that's happened, she'd probably be eating breakfast with her dad. Is it a school day or no?
For the sake of this, no.
Okay. She'd be eating breakfast with her dad.
So, one thing I'm establishing right now, and if you want to, correct me, you can. But between the psychic constructs, Chibi, and your dad and you, at least the windows in your house are spotless and streak-free. So, this mechanical bird comes flying, sees the window, and whoop! Up against the window.
It's a metal bird. It would go straight through a window.
Just picks itself up, looks at the window, realizes it's a glass window, flies back, gets itself a good head of steam. You heard it crash, so
Yana's running over to the window to open it up.
so you open the window just in time. So instead of crashing into the window, this poor mechanical bird gets caught in your poof.
Ah! What's in my hair?
And it's flapping around trying to get out of the poof. The beak opens, and then above your poof is Vincent's face.
Yana's like running around in a circle trying to get it out of her hair.
And of course, we just get a picture of the kitchen table of your dad going, calm down, and I'll come over here and I'll help. And then there's Chibi on the table just going,
So after Gianna has her mini fit there, she calms down enough for her dad to help her.
So he is slowly trying to untangle this mechanical burb from your poof as Vincent's head is hologramming over the poof. What's the message, Vinny?
I was thinking it. I'm glad for the picture.
So at that, the bird just kind of starts floating up, and he goes, kind of looks at the father and starts pecking its shoulder to try to get him to leave.
Alright. Dad knows about stuff, Vincent. It's okay.
Gianna, just follow me, please. I don't think you want your dad hearing this part.
She looks at her dad.
He gives you the just tell me when he's done look.
He gives a nod, and she takes the bird to her room.
So when they get there, the bird just kind of opens its mouth, and Vincent just plays back the snippet of the recording that he just played.
Can you briefly describe that recording?
Oh, that's right, you weren't here. Teach, I'll let you read describe.
It was basically one of those teasers for an upcoming news story, and it says it's got the picture of Gianna from the interview, and it says the truth about our heroes revealed. Story at 9 a.m. on Good Morning Bay City.
That's bad.
So if you follow the bird outside, it'll take you to where I am, and we can watch just to see what's going on. I don't think you want your father to know that you might be in danger.
Oh, all right. I'll meet you downstairs out front. I need to change.
Vincent just nods, and the bird just tries to flop to the window and smacks into it. Shakes his head and goes out there and goes downstairs.
Okay, there we go.
Of the open one.
So Gianna quickly gets out the remnants of her PJs that she has, because, not a school day, to get dressed. And she goes and she's walking past her dad and she stops and says, Dad, don't get worried, but Vincent says to watch the news at 9.
Well, her dad wouldn't be able to see the news broadcast.
Oh, really?
It was like an encrypted server.
No, that was the article. That's been broadcast out. Like, that's the public knows this.
Oh, gotcha. I thought it was like an encryption. Like,
yeah, no. Yeah,
Make
the
sure
public knows this.
Make sure to watch. Vincent says to watch the news at 9. I have to go and be with my friends, and I've got to figure out some stuff. But don't get too worried, okay?
He just sort of looks. Has that sort of solemn look of, this is what I was afraid of, but isn't stopping you, lets you go.
She scampers out. So goes downstairs to meet with the bird and go on their little adventure across the city.
so when she gets outside, the bird has transformed into a very shaky-looking hoverboard to take Gianna to Vincent's place, since Gianna can't drive or anything.
Gianna immediately jumps off of the hoverboard and instead, she kind of directs the bird over to an alley so she can jump on Mr. Moth because she trusts that more.
Although the hoverbird is great.
Oh, it's hoverboard.
Yes, but it's a bird that transforms into a hoverboard.
A
Hence
hoverbird.
Hence
Right.
the hoverbird. I do love that.
It wasn't smoking yet.
No.
Yeah, no, she's flying herself, thank you.
Charlie's showing
no
up in a
faith.
taxi cab.
I'm assuming Flo will show up when Flo darn well feels like showing up.
You said Flo was showing up.
Like I said, when he darn well feels like it.
He said it on both pages.
He did say
He's
couple.
actually going to walk in during the middle of the broadcast.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
So, the trip there is uneventful, but for the sake of plot, we're going to have Gianna and Charlie arrive at the same time. I heard you mention the word mansion. Now, we've never gotten a good outside view of the house, so, Dark, please go ahead and describe Chateau Donovan.
So it's like your typical 20th century upscale-looking, like deep residential house of someone who's extremely wealthy, has a giant pool in the back, just looks very upper class. But one thing that would stand out would be you could tell that everything doesn't really look organic. A lot of it looks like mechanical or like man-made.
Even the plants?
Yes.
Ooh.
Somewhere in a biodome, Polly Shore is smiling.
I'm immediately more depressed now.
So when they get to the front door, Vincent just kind of opens it up, just waves them in, looking for where Flo is. So Charlie, I know Gianna saw the message because I was communicating with her. Did she fill you in why I called you here?
No.
We're going to be on the news again, or at least Gianna is.
Oh God, why?
Exactly.
That doesn't sound good.
Loosens his tie up a little bit.
Where's Flo?
He'll be here when he wants to come here.
I know the bird reached him because I got confirmation, so...
That doesn't mean
So-
anything.
He knows about the news broadcast?
He does, because that's how I kind of convinced him to come. And by the way, so I don't have to send birds to you guys again. Let's exchange phone numbers, because I kind of need a way to contact you if this is going to keep happening to us.
That's not cute, though.
So she might actually prefer the bird, but okay.
I'll still send birds if you wish, but I need a way to get you in an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, exchanging of phone numbers occurs. After Charlie, pulls out a piece of paper that has his number written on it.
I'm gonna give you her number as well.
Very well. Just follow me. We can go watch in the media room.
The media room?
You have a room?
Please tell me it's just a home theater.
basically. It's like six like ottomans like lined up in like a movie theater, like two and two, and then just
Wow.
a giant projection screen.
Charlie actually looks like he's seen something like this before. He's like, yeah, it's nice.
I didn't
So-
know you were rich, Vincent.
I have a very important question for Vincent. What's the butler's name?
It's mechanical, so he doesn't have one.
You didn't even name your mechanical butler?
It just does what I tell it to do.
So you three are sitting down, and even though it's 9 in the morning, or close to 9 in the morning, this is the media room, which means usually there's movies going on. So the robo butler sees movies, or assumes movies happening. Once you all sit down, the robo butler, which looks like a normal human, like dressed in the full butler clothes, like basically doing its best Alfred Pennyworth, comes in with a tray full of a gigantic bowl of popcorn.
So Vincent kind of thinks for a second, looks at the butler, then looks back over at Jenna, and looks at the butler again, and goes, "Jenna, would you like to name him?"
He doesn't have a name?
Never really needed one. I'm kind of here by myself, so that's call out.
Popcorn, ma'am.
Thank you. What's your name, Mr. Butler?
I do not have a name. I simply go by my serial number.
And what's that?
At that, Patrick just kind of rattles off a string of numbers.
It's like 16 digits long.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, fine. Well, thank you for the popcorn. Do you like the name Colonel?
As in, like, the chicken? Sanders?
Well, as in, like, the popcorn kernel. And also, like, that weird error that appeared on my dad's computer when I was pressing too many buttons.
If that is what you wish to name me, I will accept.
Vincent, getting the wrong idea, just kind of types something into his like keyboard, and the butler's outfit changes to like a military general's.
So to put on 3 levels now. Wonderful.
I will get back to cleaning the arboreum.
And get those birds that I sent out and make sure they're refueled, please.
With pleasure, sir. And he
Thank
walks
you,
off.
Colonel.
So, I have a question. Skynet isn't real, right?
Not yet, but there's elements in play that are quite similar.
Oh, God. Because I didn't really like that movie much. I just wanted to make sure that didn't actually happen when I got into the future.
There is a dark web, but that's going to be something when John is not here if you want to see some of that.
Dark web? What's the difference between that and the normal web?
Stuff you don't want to show someone like Gianna.
Oh, okay.
And with that,
Stop eating your popcorn.
yeah, with that, we get at 9 o'clock. It's 9 a.m. and the news comes on, and normally, Good Morning Bay City is normally like your typical. And we have the host, a lovely, middle-aged woman, probably late 40s, short, cropped, brown hair, in your typical like morning news show host. Chammy, what's her name?
Her name is Diana White.
Okay. So she's sitting there and she's like, and welcome back to Good Morning Bay City. Now we have a bit more of a serious story for everyone, one that we feel that everyone should be aware of. And to tell the story, we have got the lead news anchor for Channel 9 News, Mr. Preston Powell. And it pans over, and Preston, thank you for sitting here and giving us the exclusive on this information that you've uncovered.
So, before we go further, there's a comic panel of Charlie sitting there with his hand in his head going, why aren't we just there ready to beat the crap out of somebody?
Us Flo's got to get there.
Fair.
And then he speaks up, thank you, Diane. And this isn't information that I bring to the public's viewpoint lightly, but it is information that I and the rest of my team at Channel 9 feel like the public has a right to know. 2 days ago, I conducted an interview with a young Miss Gianna Robbins, who was as honest as one could be. However, after the interview, it was brought to my attention by some people that she reminded them of somebody. So my team and I did some digging, and it turns out the young Miss Robinson is the daughter of someone who terrorized Bay City years ago. And they start showing clips of people running in terror as a... What color does your magic... When you summon the creature, your friends, and you summon your... you charge your burn, what color does that normally flare up?
Typically blue is what I imagine.
Okay, so with that same blue color that you flare up your magic with, that same color aura is surrounding this woman as she walks out, and her eyes are that color. And it's clear to the three of you that this is a younger version of the woman you met in the...
I guess she really is my mom.
And it goes through different clips of her not physically... Like, she's not physically engaging with anybody, but what she's doing is she's summoning these nightmarish manifestations. Basically, take the adorable things that Gianna summons and turn them into kaiju.
Right. Somehow I don't remember any of this happening.
Gianna's long since stopped eating popcorn.
Right. Is that did just no one ever talk about that or something? Because no one mentioned that to me ever happening.
I never knew about it either.
So, as the pictures start to wind down, he continues. Now, I'm not saying that young Miss Robinson is going to turn into her mother, but it's information like this that I do feel that the people of our fair city should be aware of, so they can make the best informed decision that they can.
About what?
And it is clear to at least the three of you that this 100% is about getting the city to hate.
Oh, yeah.
So, question, is this a live broadcast?
This is 100% a live broadcast.
Alright, so you'll see Vincent typing his keypad next to his chair. I'm trying to track down the exact location of where this is going on.
I mean, you don't even have to. Good Morning Bay City broadcast from the Channel 9 News. Like, the same place you guys were at the protest a couple of days ago. Like, you don't even need to hack for that. That's common knowledge.
Okay, so what Vincent's going to do is he's going to send out another one of his mechanisms in the form of like a little ladybug, and you'll see it go behind the guy who's speaking and go like into the back of his lapel of his shirt, so he can track where he's going.
Okay, I do need you to do me a favor at this point. Okay. That sounds like you are manifesting a gadget to help you out with something, so please go ahead and roll your move Always Prepared.
Oh, yes.
So is this the first time we've rolled Always Prepared on this channel that didn't involve some...
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So, that is an Unleash Your Powers roll. So, on a partial hit, you can either have it be temporary or unstable, or mark a condition to have it work the way as you want.
I will mark a condition of being angry, since he's talking to someone I've come to consider a friend.
Works for me. So, the two of you see him type, and you see this little mechanical ladybug, and you're not sure how he does it, but aside from the cat, the first cat you saw, which was obviously a mechanical cat, everything else has been extremely true to life. So this little tiny ladybug. And as you continue to watch the broadcast, it's a ladybug. No one pays attention.
Right.
But since it's been pointed out to you, you all watch the ladybug fly up under Preston Powell's collar.
He looks over at Vincent. It's just like, how in the world did you do that?
Remember what I was saying about the dark web? It can do a lot of fun things.
Huh. Okay.
That's not gonna like explode and hurt him, is it?
No, this one doesn't have any kind of explosive on it. However, it will let us listen to whoever he talks to after this interview. And it'll let me track him as well, which is kind of why. But mostly the recording is going to help us also. I think.
Okay.
Wow.
So, we're going to turn the page. Flo, where are you?
Still sitting around at the Goose's house.
Have you managed to wrestle the remote control away from the goose, or does the...
I didn't hear that last part.
Did you manage to wrestle control of the remote away from, or does it still have control of the TV?
Oh, it still has control of the TV.
All right. So what shows on Animal Planet right now?
The goose isn't watching Animal Planet.
What's the goose watching?
There just so happened to be showing on AMC Fly Away Home.
He is enamored with Fly Away Home. So what are you doing as the goose is watching Fly Away Home?
Oh no, Flo is like out. He is asleep in the chair.
So we get we get the typical you can see he's asleep, and then the thought bubble is just the
Saw, you said?
yeah, sawing logs, the thought bubble
Yeah.
because he's snoring.
He finally wakes up, puts on his shoes, goes to the bathroom, splashes some water on his face, sort of ruffles up his hair, teleports right outside of Vincent's house, walks in, hands on his knees like he just ran the whole way there.
So Vincent kind of just looks over at him and points at the video recording of the the outside TV. You just clearly see Flo get out of his portal.
Aw.
I can punch you too if you want.
You just hear, please no punching. The young master bruises easily.
Yeah, we know that. His ego has shown that.
Whoa, I'm surprised you're here.
Honestly, so am I. Actually, the only reason I'm here is because he said he was summoning you and Charlie, and, well, I don't trust him.
You
For
know,
all I know, he could have been like your mom's evil henchman.
Vincent, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, instead, he actually, did something, and we are going to be able to track this Powell dude and hopefully figure out why he's spreading all this crap. I mean, I guess we know why, but it's got to be something.
Right on.
Oh, so I can go punch him now.
Hold on.
I mean, yes, but right on cue, you hear that static, like the tuning of a radio static. You know what I'm talking. And you hear Preston's voice, and he just well, if showing that footage doesn't turn the public against the young Miss Robinson and her compatriots, nothing will. And then you hear another voice that 3 of you recognize. It is old, eccentric, and over the top. You might recognize it as Lord Tiberius.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking the heirs.
Yeah, and he's all we need is for them to just relax a little and turn on them just enough so that when everything starts, there's no one to resist. That's all. It just needs to last a couple of days. And then you hear a third, at least to the other 3 of you, to Gianna, to Charlie, and to Flo, an unrecognizable, extremely robotic-sounding voice. And it just goes, perhaps so, but according to calculations, the public opinion of Miss Robinson and her compatriots is currently about a 10% approval rate. Most of that is just friends and family who know them. So I would say that my plan is working much more appropriately than you would think. And everything is going according to plan. It doesn't matter now what they attempt to do or what information they may have gotten from Dreamweaver. It's too late to stop it now. And then we get the stereotypical, omnipotent villain laugh happening.
Which person?
All of them.
Wow.
Vincent, does your technology allow punching through, networks?
No, but it does transfer their exact location. Will that help with the portal?
Should we really go after them now? It sounds like that they're planning something.
If we go after them now, all it's going to do is prove their point.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, we do have knowledge now. They don't know that we know.
It sounds like they wouldn't even care if we did.
Sounds like it. That's also that robot she was talking about. So
That's what that was.
Yes, this is the GM asking because I forgot. What was the name? Did you give your AI a name, Dark?
Yeah, it was the hide unit, remember?
The hide unit. Okay, yes. So you guys have that, and then you hear Tiberius speak up again. Oh, speaking of plans working, it's about time. The lovely little rest of my crew. Specifically, the lovely Miss Lady Luna should have everything prepared. In case your little show didn't work, the outpouring of devils that's about to come from the base of the Stormbreaker building is going to definitely increase their hatred. Wouldn't you say?
Stormbreaker building?
We need to get over there.
Okay.
It's Luna.
Lady Luna's one of the freaks in the house.
We kidnapped Charlie the last time that we saw her.
Yeah, she's weird.
How weird.
Extremely.
Manipulative.
Yes.
She was the one who talked to you on the roof.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's kind of cute.
She is that too. Not gonna lie.
Could we use that to our advantage?
I kind
What?
of doubt it.
Vincent kind of just looks around and goes, "Do we need weapons?"
Probably.
Some
Very well.
demons.
So he's gonna type into. So he's gonna wave at the others to follow him into another room. He's gonna type into a little control panel, and it's just got a scene out of the Men in Black with the weapon shop.
Yes!
The walls falling open and just guns, just all kinds of weaponry just kind of showing there.
I love this so much.
So Charlie stands there, tilts his head, looks around, it's like, Vincent, how do you have all of these?
I made him.
Oh!
Flo immediately walks up, grabs 2 handguns and 2 katanas, and then walks away.
Okay, guess I know what he
Vincent
likes.
kind of just looks over at Gianna, thinks for a second, and hands him something that looks very similar to the little cricket.
Lazy cricket.
Yes! It's gonna sit her across the block.
I love this. Oh.
He looks over at Charlie and just thinks, and just kind of like shakes his head and keeps thinking.
Yeah.
And then gives him just going to like run in the middle of like old-fashioned shotgun.
Hey, Vincent,
Yes.
you got any paper and pens?
Actually, right?
He just kind of points over at his desk.
Flo goes over, pulls out a pen and a piece of paper, and you just see him writing like a love note. Hey, Charlie, how do you spell Luna? As I said, advantage.
For himself, Vincent just kind of reaches in and grabs a couple discs.
Actually,
Where
so
the guns.
Yeah.
And puts them in his back.
so Charlie actually gives the shotgun back to you and actually looks for a hunting rifle because that's something he'd be a little more acclimated to.
Vincent goes, okay, and just points to where they all are kind of hanging on the wall.
Yeah, he grabs a figure, like, you know, again, since he's also from an affluent whatever, that hunting would be a thing, so.
Oh, probably, absolutely.
Yeah, so he grabs a hunting rifle, or something that looks like one at least.
Yeah. And of course, because this is high technology, none of these are all like plasmas and lasers.
Right,
testers.
Right.
So,
Vincent kind of just looks over at Gianna and goes, you might want to be careful though, that might have a little more kick than you expect.
so he walks over to
Got before.
Vincent and looks at him and says, I have one very important question for you.
Go ahead.
Is it red or blue?
That one's purple.
Dang.
Ooh.
That's different, though. Okay, that's fine.
So after you all have fully arsenaled up and swacked your envelope and note, swack, SWAK, steal with a kiss for those who don't
Oh, thank you.
know. We're going to turn the page to however you all arrive at the base of the... And the best way I can describe this is everyone's seen the first Avengers movie, correct?
Yes.
So you know the scene when they're all at the bottom of Avengers Tower and all that, and the entire city is just running in panic?
Yes.
That, but devils.
Huh. So, I at least want to paint a small picture here. Because, like, when Gianna gets to the scene with everybody else, and, like, we have our weapons, I'm assuming. Like, she's holding her, like, new little weapon that she has. And she has Sassy behind her. And Sassy's decked out like Rambo.
Yes!
He's got like a bandolier across his chest. And he's holding, like, a big gun. Like, as big as he, like, would like it to be. And he's just, like, looking ready to go. And she's just holding her little gun, like...
I love that so much.
I really, really want a fan art of this.
Right.
I do too. So the final scene we get is the group of 5 of you now because of, you know, Gianna and Vincent and Charlie and Flo and Sassy all decked out, standing in front like ready Power Rangers this, as there are waves of people running past them and just a horde of devils coming towards them. And that's where we're going to end the comic.
Ooh.
So, thank you all very much for watching. On behalf of the entire crew here at Base, that would be OPT Lawyer, Dark Falls, Crimson Avix, and Chameleon Ice. I am TGE, reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep hailing.